Well, hello. Oh, I forgot to put my earpads or AirPods or whatever the heck they're called in. So hopefully you guys can hear me well enough. Welcome to Candor with Katie. Hopefully it won't be that long either. Tonight, I just thought, let's talk about coming out of the pandemic and what that looks like. What does that feel like? How are you guys doing? Are you handling it okay? Of course, once again, here are my beginning things. I'm checking. Okay, can I hear myself? Yes, I can. Okay, hi. So I have a couple of articles about this because lately, the reason why I'm thinking about this is because I have been feeling, I don't know how to describe it. We all have our good days and our bad days, and this is the end of the pandemic, and I feel like I should be so much further, and I've felt the whole time that I've been behind and stuff, and it's really hard to feel successful sometimes when you got all this stuff going on, right? So I don't know how you guys are feeling. Oh, see, I have this thing now so I can see this better. Oh, hi, Katie, and then she fixed it. Hello, Danae. Welcome to Candor with Katie. So I thought I'd talk about it tonight because how are you guys doing? How are you feeling? Some of us have had really terrible experiences during the pandemic. Some of us have lost loved ones. There's no way around it. Like, it's just not easy, and it's different for everyone. That's the thing. So I have these two articles. The first one that I'm going to read about is about psychological momentum. Okay. And so it's by this author. I forgot to put her name up here. Jessica Stillman, who is a columnist. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. I want to read that 1 second. Sorry. We're going to talk about, psychological momentum, but it's by Kelly Korducki or Kuducki. I don't know quite how to say it. She is a senior book editor and Forge/Medium author. Medium is the website I use most often to get a lot of this information from. So what does that mean? What is the psychological momentum? Because psychological, right? Up here in your head. So she said, I never thought I'd say this, but the impending return to normal life is stressing me out. For some people, now some of you guys need to comment on this for me. For some people, the pandemic has freed up time to learn new skills and invest in hobbies. And for this author, she said it's been a year of feeling thwarted. Okay, so she said she began to feel as though she's gotten, 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Okay, so now she's kind of finally feeling like she's getting back to normal. But she said, I begin to feel as though I've gotten back into the groove of creative confidence, and then I seem to slide back off the saddle. And so, and we all compare ourselves to other people and stuff. And so, my house, it's not messy per se, but I could mop it. I could do something. And then I feel like, and I'm doing a lot of things and I'm still essential. And so I couldn't still figure out how to find the time to do all the things I was supposed to do. And there's a lot of outside pressure from other people. And the thing is, we're all different. We all just need to kind of figure out what works best for us, right? By the way, I got my hair cut today. I don't know if you can notice. It's still long, but it feels so much better. And I got a Great Clips. They do a great job at Great Clips. Okay, so Danae says, I'm done with this crap. My son's social life blows. He's got no friends and has withdrawn. Used to be a huge personality, and now he's all timid and stuff. My income has been reduced by $65,000. Suck ass. Yes, and thank you for sharing that. That is completely legitimate. Thank you. She likes my hair. So pretty. It's got layers and things. So I had a good year, with real estate and stuff, but mentally, physically, like I started doing running and stuff again in November, so I'm doing okay. And I was going to go practice today, and that started raining. But, it's just, and I know some of you might think it's crazy, but I have a lot of times of feeling less than or like a failure, and that I'm not doing all I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I'm supposed to be doing my work and building a shed in the back and redoing my office and things like that. And I didn't have the time for that kind of stuff. So it's looked different for everyone, right? I don't know. And they talk about this in here too, in one of these articles, about how it depends on who you're stuck in the pandemic with. So as a single person, And I'm alone a lot, and I need to be alone. Like, I need my alone space, but it is really lonely. And then it's weird too coming out of it. Like, I think here in Arizona, I think our restaurants are back to 100%, but it's like nobody's really doing that. You know what I mean? So it's just weird. I want to know how you guys are feeling. Okay. All right. So she says, when you start thinking I'm not ready for quarantine to end, you might have a problem. Is anybody else feeling like that? Are you feeling like that at all? Right? So why mind over matter really matters. Okay. We're going to talk about this for a second. So she says, psychological research tells us that the perception of forward motion actually propels continued success, which is true. As an athlete, I know this, and I'm going to talk about some of those too, right? So while a winning streak makes it easier to keep on winning, the opposite is also true. One setback can tumble into another and another and another, okay? And then to get out of it, you have to replenish your sense of psychological momentum. What is psychological momentum? Mind over matter, okay? Is it easy? No. A lot of the things I talk about are not easy. It's just something you have to do. You just have to figure it out, right? So she says, okay, so psychological momentum is a psychological force in which several factors or qualities converge in a synergistic way to enable one to perform at a level not ordinarily possible. Okay, so there's these two professors, Seppo Iso Ahola and Charles O. Dotson from the University of Maryland. They're professors. They talk about this and they say it's the mind over matter thinking, okay? Mindset that feeds the steely determination that spurs you to outdo yourself again and again, okay? So even during these pandemic times, so a lot of the times I'm doing a mind over matter thing with myself, and I'm like, or somebody says something like I've said many a time, and people are like, well, 87% of people failed in real estate in the first 2 years or 3 years. And I'm like, well, no, I'm not going to. Mostly just because you said that to me, you know? So, but what's it like in this pandemic time? Because, you know, it's not, if you're somebody who's stuck at home working now, how easy is it to do? What are your extrinsic motivations? What are your intrinsic motivations? What's, you know, how has that been? And now those of you that have been working at home, are you going back to work? How are you feeling psychologically? It's strange, isn't it? Okay, so if you think about this, okay, so psychological momentum is most often invoked to describe the competitive edge of athletes at the top of their game, right? Obviously. So think Serena Williams when she won her record-breaking 23rd Grand Slam at the 2017 Australian Open while she was pregnant, okay? A lot of that has to do with that she saw herself as a winner, okay? Understanding her innate advantages over her opponents, plus the frequency, intensity of her wins, and the duration of her momentum. So she had to keep it going, right? So how does a person's belief in their own greatness translate to a concrete real-world manifestations of greatness? Simply put, they're talking about is, to quote these people again, Ahola and Dotson, it's about efficiency. And that's what they've been talking about with this whole pandemic this whole time. So in general, okay, psychological momentum, again, facilitates this efficiency by making successful task completion more likely and faster. So you got to have a goal, okay, in order to feel like you're successful, kind of, okay? So once one experiences some type of success, and reach this task, then they have a greater likelihood of continuing that success. So the bottom line is, how do you do that when you're currently feeling stuck? What if you feel like you're in a rut? Okay, you have to give yourself some wins, and the way to do that is by performing very small wins every day. So maybe that is okay. So here's how she says it: the power of very few small wins. Okay. Success of any variety is a powerful motivator, of course, but shooting for as few small actionable achievements every day can be all it takes for you to reclaim your sense of forward motion, because a lot of us have felt stuck. And now that we're coming out of this pandemic, a lot of us feel, well, I should be back exactly where I was a year ago. I mean, it in a sense, I feel like we lost a year of our lives. Can I just redo my birthday from last year? Because it sucked, you know? So I don't know, right? But the thing is, instead of, now this is an important thing. So if this is an athletic thing, let's say, instead of trying to break your pandemic-long fitness dry spell with a daunting hour-long, spin class or something, set aside 5 minutes a day for doing some stretching, or stretch tomorrow morning. Okay. Okay, so now you probably are talking about something I just said. So what did I say we did? We made it through the pandemic. Sorry. Commit to choosing. Okay, so if you're like I just said, like I should clean up my office, I have all these things. So instead of tackling all of that at once, okay, commit to choosing 3 items from inside your office or your kitchen, your bedroom, whatever that is, okay, and decide with these 3 items you're gonna do. Donate 1, keep 1, and toss 1, okay? And then you will start to feel that success is within your reach, and you'll find a way to reach it. So even the humblest of wins can put you on a better path, okay? No slump needs to last forever. The mojo you miss is momentum you can create, 1 step at a time, just 1 step at a time. That's the most important thing that you need to remember, okay? And so I was talking with a friend, and I have so many clothes and stuff that I don't really wear anymore, and I need to clean out my stuff. I need to make more room. I don't really have, I was talking to another friend about a yard sale, but it's mostly clothes, so I'm not going to do a yard sale. And, it's that whole thing, like if you haven't seen it and stuff. So I lost my point. Getting rid of my clothes. So if you want to buy new clothes and stuff, let's just say every time you buy something new, you have to get rid of something old, which I realize could make it stay the same level. But what I need to do is get rid of the stuff that is unnecessary to me right now, and then build from there, if that makes sense. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is the pandemic may be changing your personality, psychologists say. So this Jessica Stillman wrote this, and she is the top Inc.com columnist, editor, and ghostwriter. Okay, so what do I have over here? Okay, so this is interesting. So a popular view by most people are that personalities are largely unchanging. And to some extent, that's true, but there are exceptions. Over the course of our lifetimes, personalities often change dramatically, and there are big life shifts that also shape our character, right? So there was a psychological research highlighted by BBC Future that includes a huge life event that we are living through, the pandemic, okay? So has it left you feeling tired, withdrawn? Maybe you're looking at your life or career with new eyes, right? So it's been a roller coaster. And whether you want to admit it or not, it has. I mean, I feel like it has. I don't know. You guys tell me, okay? But here's this cool guy. See, look, I have a, oh wait, I already had that one. Christian Jarrett, he looks super young if you look at his picture. He's a neuroscientist turned science writer. And he talks about being stuck at home. Okay, so everyone's lockdown experience was different, of course. Some came out of it for the better. Some it was the same. Some it was better. I've been on a definite roller coaster this whole time, and so I'm just trying to figure out how to navigate through this stuff and not be so hard on myself if I don't get everything done, if I don't meet everybody's expectations. Of course, the things I need to do, but you know what I'm saying? Like these outside things. Okay, so being stuck at home, unemployed, worrying how you'll support your family is very different from doing a job remotely while quarantining with a loving partner. So see, that's completely different experiences, okay? So for those lucky enough to have avoided a traumatic lockdown experience, evidence suggests that disruption might actually bring about positive changes. What? How is that possible? Now, this is for the people who did not experience a negative lockdown experience, because there are those, okay? It might have turbocharged a phenomenon known as the Michelangelo effect, okay? And so that means it refers to the way that we're more likely to develop into the kind of person that we want to be if we're close with a romantic partner who supports and encourages us to behave in line with our aspirations, akin to a sculptor helping to reveal our ideal self. It's a really interesting way of looking at it, I think. Okay, so he says, like an encouraging partner, the enforced slowness and proximity to morality of the pandemic may have acted as a sculptor, forcing people to look closely at their lives and chip away all the ways reality fails to line up with their values and aspirations. So Is that any of you? What has your experience been like? I'm going to take this off really quick. So the Michelangelo effect is what I just talked about. Super interesting, right? So this time of reflection might lead to an increase in self-concept clarity. I thought I put this guy's name down, but I guess I didn't. Well, in short, those who avoided the worst of the lockdown, the pandemic served as a kick in the pants to make sure our lives haven't strayed too far from ideals and aspirations. Here's another reason why to not rush back to normal. This experience has caused people to reflect on reset their lives a little bit, okay? Many are finding that the things that made them look successful actually also made them feel miserable or precarious, meaning uncertain, or physically unwell. So a lot of people realized after working from home, because I heard a lot of people say this, I think a lot of companies didn't realize that people could work from home, but I also like how efficient it can be, right? And so I do pretty well working from home. I mean, even if I'm in my pajamas. I'm not in my pajamas today, believe it or not. I'm wearing yoga pants though. They are comfortable. Okay, I got a comment. Oh, hello. That's from YouTube. That's pretty cool. So the bottom line is this, okay? If you are feeling not quite yourself the past few months, or if your old life doesn't look as appealing as it once did, just know you're not alone, okay? Lots of us are being reshaped by the pandemic. For those fortunate to have had the physical and mental space for reflection, our everyday selves may even end up better aligned to our ideal selves after this is over. So this awesome scientist guy said that looks really young that turned science writer. He's a neuroscientist. He says, don't rush back to old ways. This crisis might be changing your personality for the better. It could. There's a lot of things too that happen to us that we say, like some traumatic experiences, some not so traumatic, some shitty things, whatever, some positive things. They change us, and it is what it's supposed to be, right? Even if it's really tough. So I don't know the reason for this pandemic. I don't know what this is, but my biggest plead, I think, would be for us to just be fucking decent with each other, okay? Because there's so much anger out there right now. There's like other agents I'm dealing with. There's groups I'm in on pages, and people are just way over concerned with other people's posts, and does it upset somebody, and this and it's really hard to be ourselves right now because of all the stuff that we've gone through, you know? So just take a step back and realize that you're not alone, and that we're all in this together, and that you can do things to take yourself out of it, but it's got to be one step at a time, okay? You don't have to go 0 to 60. Take it one step at a time. So do me a favor, and this week, it's Tuesday, by Friday, try and think of something, if you can, no pressure, one simple goal that you can accomplish by the end of this week, okay? So for me, let's see, really need to go through my clothes. So by Friday, I'm very busy also, but by Friday, I would like to have a stack of clothes out of my closet, not my drawers, that I can donate, okay? And then maybe that can help other people. I don't know, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this tonight. It's a little shorter, which I wanted it to be. A little bit, it's not as silly as I am usually. I like to change it up, you know me. So I hope you have a great evening. I forgot to put peace and love in here. Whoops. And I will see you guys next week. Peace and love, everybody. Oh, you know what? If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, and share, because I'm cool like that. What?